Hey, so I have a serious question. Who's guarding your life? Serious. That's what I want to know. Today's Daily Dose. Who's guarding your life? I want to share with you a little story about guarding, about life guarding. You see these behind me, these lifeguard chairs, getting ready for the summer, and reminding me back. I was walking Owen here. We're having a nice little walk, and I was reminded of when I was a kid, and we used to spend summers at the beach. It's probably why I love the beach so much. Not this beach up north. It was cold most of the year, but in the summertime, I'll never forget. We spent all of our summers. It was free. Our kids, my mom and dad could drop us down there. We could play. When I got older, I got into boogie boarding, bodyboarding, whatever you want to call it. Never really got into surfing, but I'll never forget. And I got really good. I used to compete at bodyboarding, boogie boarding, whatever. We called it boogie boarding. We had the flippers, and actually there's a boogie board right over there. It's a junky one, but there's one over there. And I'll never forget, the waves would get big every once in a while, and we had lifeguards. And I'll never forget, I was so embarrassed this one time when they had the flags. They color code the flags when the current is either mild. Right now it'd be probably a green flag. I think they call it here just a low hazard, which is green flag. Actually, right here, I'll even share with you. They change the flags, right? They have water closed, beach warning flags, green flag, medium hazard, or is yellow, red flag, etc. So we have these flags, and I'll never forget, it was a red flag day, and I was probably not even a teenager yet, maybe 10, 11, 12 years old, something like that. And I was friends with the lifeguards, and my parents relied on the lifeguards to make sure that we were being watched, and we were, they knew if we were in danger at any particular time, they'd be able to help us out. So I remember this one time, so embarrassed, and we were out, and the waves were amazing, and we were riding waves, and my mom was getting really, really nervous, and she had the lifeguards yell through the megaphone, their little mega speakers. And they were sitting on a lifeguard chair just like this, and the beach was completely packed, super, super packed. And one of the things that they said was, all I heard and I was in the waves, I was way out in the water like that, and they, yo, Avens! They were like, yo, Avens! And this was packed beach. Your mother wants you to come in. The waves are too rough. Your mother wants you to come into shore, come on the beach. And I was so embarrassed by that. And I know, part of me as a young kid, I was like, I didn't want to hear what my parents are. I wanted to ride good waves, right? I didn't care. I was disobedient, so I didn't come in. And then I heard it a couple times, so I finally came in. And my mom was just watching out for my safety. And she was helping to guard my life. That's what a good parent does, right? And I'm sure if you're a parent, this may resonate with you. Like, you protect your kids, right? You want to do what you can to protect your kids. But my question isn't protecting your kids. My question is, who's protecting you? Who's guarding you? Who's guarding your life? And I get this often. I get on calls and I talk with people, and they talk about, Mark, I've cared for other people my whole life. I've been the caretaker, the caregiver, and just when my kids got out on my own, and I'm in that season, right? My kids are starting to transition. I got one that's finishing up high school in a few weeks, and one that's got 2 more years, right? But then after that, then they're kind of moving forward into their own life, right? To some extent. And maybe then you thought, oh, well, I just need to take care of my family and my kids, and they're not children anymore. But now, guess what? Then it turns the table. And then you're like, oh, well, I'll have much more time to take care of myself and to watch over and be able to lose this weight and finally get in shape. And then you end up taking care of your parents, who maybe are starting to decline. They're getting older, and it's getting now more frustrating because now you're caring for your parents, which is, again, this is part of life, right? It's a cyclical thing. And you end up becoming the parents for your parents as it comes to the later stages. I'm going through that now. But my question is still, who's guarding your life? Who's guarding your life? Here's what happens, and I want to share this, which I think is really pretty awesome. So with lifeguard stations, so you see, let me get down here and see if I can get down to this level. So you see the rip current there? Break the grip of the rip. So if you know anything about lifeguards and whether there's big waves or there's rip currents, there's a way to get out of the rip. And I'm going to actually just share this with you. Let me turn this around so you can read it. So if you're caught in a rip currents, break the grip of the rip. If you're caught in a rip current, here's the 4 things to do. Don't fight the current. Swim out of the current. then to shore. If you can't escape, float or tread water. If you need help, call or wave for assistance. Let's do that again. If you need help, call or wave for assistance. Don't fight the current. Swim out of the current, then to shore. If you can't escape. So here's what's kind of cool about that. This is what I want to chime in with that. With regards, and I'll see if I can remember, is all three of those diamonds above are action steps. Don't fight the current. You know, in a rip current, right? You're not supposed to fight. In fact, you're supposed to go with it. You're supposed to flow with it. And then you actually, once you're able to get out of the rip current, is then swim back. That's another action step, right? And then if you're stuck, tread water. You're supposed to tread water, wave for help, right? And then get that help that you need. Here's the problem when it comes to guarding your life. You're trying to do it on your own. You're like, well, I took care of my family. I was able to take care of my kids. I have 4 kids, and I was able to even take care of my spouse. And, you know, I was able to do that. I mean, I'm really successful in my business. I'm able to take care of those things. My finances are in order. I'm able to take care of those things. Why? And you're just assuming that it's just going to be just as easy to take care of you. And the problem is that you're so used to, you've gotten into these habits of caring for everybody else, yet you've forgotten to take care of the most important person, and that's you. And I say the most important person because you're able to, just listen to me, hear me out on this. You're able to care for all those other people in your life far better when you're taking care of yourself. So my question, again, I'm going to resonate this maybe with one of you, and if it is, then that's my job is well done. Who the hell is guarding you? Who's guarding your life? Oh, no, Mark, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Here's another thing I hear about often is, so, okay, you have 50 pounds to lose. Why are you still struggling? I'm just lazy. Oh, I cringe when I hear that. So let me ask you a question. If you were in, if you were in a rip current like this, if you were lazy in a rip current like this, right? You got caught in the rip, which happens in the shore. If you're kind of stuck, if you were lazy, what do you think would happen? Let's just go over that again. If you were stuck in a rip current, right? And maybe you kept fighting the current. You didn't swim out of the current or the shore. You couldn't escape. You didn't know how to tread water. Guess what would happen? You'd die. Now, I know, that's maybe a morbid thought about dying, but the reality is, if you're lazy, maybe you're not dying, but maybe you're dying inside because you're still 50 pounds overweight and you're disgusted even getting up in the morning, looking at yourself, getting yourself ready to go to work. Maybe you can't even bear the thought of being intimate with your spouse, and your spouse loves you, yes, and it doesn't mean that you have to be skinny for your spouse to love you, right? But can you imagine if you're hating yourself inside, you're basically drowning, like you're basically killing yourself slowly. Now, you might not be dead, and maybe this is something I'm going a little over the top on. Yes, it's time to go a little over the top. It's time to realize that it's not your necessarily fault, but it is your fault if you keep fighting the rip, if you keep fighting thinking that you're going to get it together on your own by yourself, and you're not a good swimmer, meaning this, you're not good at eating healthy. You don't have any idea how much food you need. You have no willpower. You have no discipline. Your habits are terrible. You have terrible eating habits. You don't either know how to exercise or are just saying, I'm lazy, right? Were you lazy taking care of your 4 kids? Were you lazy about, the relationship you have with your spouse? Were you lazy about all those other things? Oh no, well, I just want to be lazy. Well, that's your choice. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're in your 40s or your 50s or maybe your 60s and you're just using the excuse, I'm just lazy, that's a freaking terrible excuse. You want to be lazy the rest of your life? I guarantee you, sooner or later, you're going to get caught in the rip and you're not going to be able to tread water. And by then, it's going to be too hard to raise your hand to get the help you need, right? And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to drown. And like I said, I'm not saying maybe literally drowning, but you may be drowning right now. Maybe right now you feel like you're underwater. You're submerged under this this sea of regret and guilt and shame and disappointment and sadness and confusion and fat. Maybe you're just feeling you're drowning in your own fat. Like, again, maybe you need to hear this message right now. Maybe it's time to call the lifeguard. Maybe it's time you get the help that you need. Maybe it's time that you raise your hand. It's time to get the help if you want the help you need. If you are serious about this, like, I don't know, my mom was as dead serious about telling those lifeguards to tell me to get my butt in shore. Now, was she worried that I wasn't a good swimmer? No, but she was worried about those waves and maybe the rip current that could definitely take me out to sea and kill me. Now, my question to you is, how valuable is your life? Like, who's guarding your life? If you have no guardrails in your life, you're going to, so to speak, drown or go off the cliff, if you want to think of guardrails on a cliff, right? Well, let's think of it out there, right? If you weren't a swimmer, a good swimmer, you would drown. Whether the water, I've seen people, look, there's no waves right now, right? There's no waves right now. I know people drown in when the ocean is like that, when there's no waves, because they don't know how to swim. Now, do you not know how to take care of yourself? Do you not know how to start on a healthier path? Do you not know how to build healthy eating habits? Do you not know how to exercise appropriately for your age and the season of your life in? Do you not know how to do what you need to do to get results? What are you still waiting for? Why are you still in the rip current? Why are you still drowning? Like, that's my question to you. What's so hard to comprehend? Here's the thing that's crazy to me. And people, this is usually what happens. And I'm going to be just open and transparent, because I talked to a lot of people this week, and I would say I'm really disappointed for a handful of them who were literally drowning, literally in the rip current, literally drowning. They put even their hand up that they need the help, and then they just said, no, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. Like, they'd rather drown basically than to figure out a way to get into my coaching program. And I hear this all the time, and this is for my fellow coaches out there who, honestly, I believe all of our coaches, all of our healthcare professionals, right, are essential. You know what an essential worker is? A lifeguard. Like, a good coach or a mentor can help you get out of the rip to save yourself. Like, how valuable is that? That should be invaluable, right? If your life is valuable, it's going to take more than a freaking mask and a shot in your arm. You still got to take freaking good care of yourself, right? Can I get an amen from my coaches and from my colleagues out there? Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe I need to put this out there. Maybe we need to double our rates that we do. Maybe we need to actually put the expense of that twice as much. Maybe we need to make our prices that, as far as cost. Because here's the reality. A lot of people are thinking, well, I could just go to the $10 gym membership and do my workouts. Okay, if your health is worth $10, have at it. Go for it. Good luck. Like, okay, I'm going to do that fitness app that's free and maybe $47 a month to do. Have at it. If your health, if you think is only worth $47, have at it. But if you realize that your health is worth far more, like my mom thought when she was yelling for those lifeguards to say, Mark Avens, yo Avens. I'll never forget that moment. I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. I've never been more embarrassed in my entire life. And I'll never forget. But part of me was a little grateful because she cared about me, right? I had a mom who cared about me. Maybe you didn't have a mom who cared about you. Maybe nobody's cared about you. Maybe you feel like everybody's just been taken, right? And you just been given. And you don't even know how to receive the help that you need. Maybe today is the day that you open your hands up and say, today I want to receive help. I need help. I don't want to be stuck in a rip current. I don't want to drown. I don't want to die. Do you not want to die? It's not about getting into skinny jeans and looking good naked. Maybe it's just about freaking living, waking up the next morning, right? And that could be not just literally, it could be you could be dead inside, drowning inside, dying inside, yet you're still keeping your hands closed, not getting the help that you truly need. Now, again, I'm only one coach, and I'm not saying I'm necessarily the right coach for you, but my goodness already, can we just step up to the plate, people? It's time. It's time to start swimming again. You know what happens when you learn how to swim? And when you are able to get out of the rip and you're able to swim back to shore, there's a confidence level that goes like none other. Like there's a confidence. You're able to get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and say, damn, I look good. Or to be able to take your clothes off. Here's a question. Should we go there? Here's a question. When's the last time, be honest with yourself, don't share it. This is maybe your intimate moment. When's the last time you've actually felt confident in yourself when you took all your clothes off in front of your spouse for those intimate moments? Did you ever put the light on? When's the last time you had the light on during those intimate moments? Should I go there? Like here's the thing. If this is a till death do us part and you're in it for the long run, now mind you, for me, it's going to be 19 years in May. My wife and I look good naked for each other. I'll tell you what, not only look good naked, those intimate moments are just that much better. And you know what? Because we have the confidence. Again, you're not to go behind my closed doors, right? But I'm just sharing this with you because you think maybe it's too late. You think you've already, you've peaked in life. If you're 55, you've already peaked, right? That's it. The best is done. That's it. There's nothing more. So basically what you're saying is you'd rather just drown. You'd rather just stay in there, basically trying to tread water, maybe slowly getting sucked in with some water and pretty much dying inside. Enough already. Gosh, like this week was hard for me because I had some great people who said yes, and I had some people who needed the help, truly needed the help. It's like do or die situation. They're basically saying, raising their hand in the water saying, I need the help. But they're saying, no, wait, lifeguard, wait, don't come out. Stay in your seat, go help somebody else. I can't have your help right now. It's not the right time. Life is not really, it's just not a good time to get your help. Does that resonate with anybody? Can you just feel me on this for a moment? Don't share your intimate moments, but all I want you to do right now, I want you to drop some fire emojis. I want to know that this maybe resonated with you. Or again, if you're embarrassed, shoot me a private message. Just say lifeguard message and then we'll take it from there. Take care. God bless. See you soon.